morning, everybody. Welcome to the People's Church of Divine Prophecy. Pastors, Reverend Steve Adams. Good to see everybody here today. I ask everybody to silence their cell phones unless they're medical or law enforcement personnel. We have a couple of housekeeping things. There's drinks in the back refrigerator, hot drinks on the table. If you go back there, you're going to see a lot of extra food today. This is our potluck lunch, so you can sneak a taste if you want. Just help yourself. We're good with that. If you forgot to bring something, please stay and share anyway. There's plenty of food back there. Just takes a couple of times to get used to it, so don't worry about it. The restrooms are down the hall, quick right, quick left. There's a little change with the healing today. There's some empty chairs in the back, so we have like a waiting area in the back before you go up to healing, because it's a little, I ring the bell and people look up, somebody else jumps in the chair, and so we have a few extra chairs now, so you go from the chairs on the wall there up to an empty chair here. So we give it a little more room, a little easier flow for the healing. I'd like to have candle on, light the candle, symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit. I think the fan's turned on. They turn the fan off, and we're going to lose all three here in a minute. Take the fan and turn it, but the fan on the floor back there. Turn it a little bit that way. There you go. That's good. Just that's good. We have a joke about the candles. It's body, mind, and spirit, you're left to right. And when the candle doesn't want to light or doesn't want to stay lit, that one's on vacation that day. Usually it's the body in the colder time of the year. So I think please stand for the invocation on man standing for the first time. Dear Father God, we give thanks for this moment here today. We give thanks for the hope, harmony, and love brought by those that have come. May we give and share equally today of those here in your hope and presence. Amen. I forgot to introduce the musicians in the church. This is Marty Hamilton. She's been our staple for quite a while, and we just had a new person step up here, Lori, if you stand up. She's going to be playing guitar next week and singing for us. Glad to have the addition. And of course, we have Kathy Quick, who plays the harmonium. So we're really blessed with a lot of musicians. The next portion is a reading by the pastor. This is where I talk about something that's come to me in the past week, where I try to put it into a spiritual perspective. And something that I've come to understand about spiritual development, it's the most common term I draw to is spiritual awakening. That means it's awakening your own spirit within. You're not bringing in something you don't have. You're not bringing in something that's unnatural to you. It's not something that you don't know about. It's just something that's inside of you with your spirit. So most spiritual disciplines try to awaken that eternal being within you and allow you to bring it forward and begin to view the world through that perspective rather than through this perspective of your instincts and your senses. Instincts and senses are needed in order to get the input from the world, but the way it's processed should be through spiritual vision. And the Chinese have a practice they call eyes open meditation, where they walk around in a state of perception with their eyes open. A lot of times here we're taught to sit with our eyes closed and go real quiet and peaceful and serene. But the true task is keeping that state of awareness when you open your eyes and begin to view the world around you. In the beginning, it's short periods of time that you're able to do that, and then at other times, it's longer periods of time, but you're always going to revert back to the instincts and who you are at some point. So just be aware of looking outward and getting a spiritual awakening. And something that came to me through practicing this, the craft of co-development, I was looking at, well, I got a house full of dogs now. I've got 3 little baby ones, 5 or 6 weeks old, and I've got 2 adult dogs, Mama and Papa, a couple horses, and then I'll tell you, wearing white pants around a mini farm is not a good idea, because it's hard to keep them clean. You can't resist hugging them and kissing every one of them. But looking at the little puppies, and even the bigger ones, 7-month-old, they do things that are natural to them. And you have to figure out what is natural to them, because when you're trying to guide them into being an integral part of the household, you can't make them act against their nature. So you have to figure out what their nature is, what's natural and normal to them, and try to blend the home environment with that. And it's not always that easy or that agreeable to you. But the downside is if you discipline them too harshly, they just become afraid of you. And people in the world are like that too. And my process with people is very similar. I try to discern through spiritual visionary and sensitivity the type of character they are, the type of person they are, and decide to what level I want to interact with them and bring them into my environment, and how to cohabitate with that person as their nature. Don't bring somebody into your environment and expect them to act other than their nature. Just like you can't expect these dogs to act anything other than their nature. I'm not saying people are dogs, but the nature is the nature. So you have to judge somebody's nature, judge who they are, and realize that's who they're going to be, and figure out how to make it blend with whatever level you want to have them interact with your environment. So this is just something that came to me this morning, and I thank you for listening. The next portion of our service is the healing portion. I'd like to ask Judy Stetson and Lorraine Trucks to come up. We'll read the prayer for spiritual healing on the back of the hymnal to start the service in unison. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help, and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God.
Find a comfortable position to sit. When there is no tension on your physical body. Take a few deep breaths. Your nose inward. With your exhale, let go. Let go of the thoughts that are occupying your mind at this time. With your exhale, just breathe it out. Just engage with the rhythm of your breath. With each breath, feel the peaceful sensations flowing throughout your body. Breathe in and breathe out. let go of the tension. Relax your body. Just focus on your breath. Feel this breath taking you deeper to a very peaceful and quiet place within yourself. Connect with this peaceful presence and become one. Breathe in and breathe out. And feel the peaceful sensations flourishing your body, your mind, your spirit. Your mind is completely quiet and your body totally relaxed. In this peaceful state of your consciousness, feel your awareness that is within and with your surroundings. Feel your awareness shifting higher. Higher to your forehead. With your mind's eye, envision a brilliant golden light in a form of golden energy coming to your forehead. Circulating at the crown of your head. Healing and clearing your mental body. Release and let go of the thoughts of judgment, resentment. Release and let go of whatever is holding you back from advancing spiritually. Release and let go of the thoughts that are interfering with your spiritual growth. Release and let go. And feel your awareness connected to your higher self and to the mind of God. God the omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient. The source of infinite knowledge and wisdom. The source of infinite love and compassion. Feel this heightened state of your awareness that is pure and perfect in nature, that is infinite. Breathe in and out, feel this energy coming down to your lower bodies. As it moves, it clears, it cleanses, it opens the blockages from both your physical and spiritual bodies. See this energy cleansing and healing your emotional body. As you release and let go feelings, unhealthy emotions of pain, hurt, suffering. See this divine energy healing and cleansing your emotional body. As it moves slowly to your knees, down to your feet. See it going out through the bottom of your feet, extending deep into the ground. Anchoring you to the earth. See this golden energy expanding further out, outside your body. Creating golden circle of light that is around your body. See this golden circle replicating beautiful golden rings that are multiplying around you. Filling your entire aura with this brilliant golden light. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel your heart connecting you to your mind. Your mind connecting you to your higher self, to your I am presence, the perfect state of your consciousness, the source of infinite possibilities and potentials to the presence of God within, the supreme power and the creator of all. Become aware of this heightened state of your awareness that is within your consciousness. Allowing the power of God to work within. Knowing that you have the power to heal with God. All things are possible. Surrender to the supreme presence that is within. And the knowingness that you have the power to heal yourself as you surrender to this infinite presence of God. Allow this energy to heal your body. Your mind. Think of someone who is in need for healing at this time. Do you have any family member, friend, or colleague that is in need for healing? Envision this person with your mind's eye and direct this divine healing energy to that individual. See the energy reaching that person and healing whatever is the need for, physical, mental, or emotional. See this person receiving this healing energy. Send the rest of the energy to the universe, to the earth, to the ocean, to the plants, the minerals, all the animals. Energy circulating, coming back to this room. To the person next to you. This entire room. Embrace this peaceful state of your consciousness. and intent for the highest good, for the highest good of all. Become aware of your breath. Start becoming aware of your physical body. Integrate this energy to your physical realities and share it with those in your surroundings. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.
The next portion of the service is the inspirational lecture. And we have Dr. Reverend Phil Delong here today to share his words of wisdom. He always has a very interesting take. His education is very widely gifted. He has a knowledge of Native American lore and a lot of indigenous religions. He also studied the mineral kingdom, knows rocks and crystals, and has quite a knowledge of crystal skulls for those of you that have an interest in that. So if you welcome Dr. Reverend Phil Delong, a longtime friend, to do the lecture now. Thank you for the introduction. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming. My topic today is about illusion. And life is an illusion. It begins with our concept of God. We were brought up to believe that God is the divine creator, an image stuck in our mind as an elderly man with a flowing gray beard and a white robe, and a person who gave us a set of rules to live by. God exists everywhere, in every molecule, between those empty spaces of atoms, in the stones and rocks and flowers and trees, in animals and fish, in the rivers and oceans, and in the air that we breathe. God is the I am that I am, the infinite intelligence that pervades everything and resides within us as we know the I am presence. As part of the illusion, we must abandon our current belief system, reprogram, rethink, and know that God is a verb. The dictionary, or God cannot be defined because God is. The dictionary defines is as the third person singular present tense of the verb be, to exist. God exists everywhere. Therefore, God can metaphysically be defined as a verb and plural. We go back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. And God made mankind in their image. Love is God in action. Loving is I am in action. I aming, the verb portion of that. So I aming is a verbalization and the action of God. For example, I am breathing and I am speaking. Life is an illusion. We are all spiritual beings experiencing life in our physical body. Pinch yourselves. We are here in the third dimension, and the only thing that really matters is being in the now. We exist in a holographic universe like watching a movie. We are the actor, the director, the producer, and all the other roles, lighting, costumes, makeup, editing, and so on. Our life can be as complex or as simple as we want to be. I want to focus
on the role of actor today. Our highest self will direct our guides to assume the other roles. I ask you, what do actors do? They do acting. I came up with an acronym for actor: achieving, creating, transforming our reality. When we are achieving, we are following our passion, our heart's desire. We must be in harmony with the universe to guide us along our soul path. Achieving is goal setting. You have heard this said in many ways: set a goal, achieve a goal, set another goal. Or have a plan and plan to act. We must listen to our I Am presence, the God that resides within us. Achieving is believing in ourselves, and we are here to make our reality have an impact in the world that we live in. Always expect to be expressing our conscious actions. I have found that when the I Am is achieving, following our passions, that time and space is bent. When I get finished with a job, say in my previous life, a telephone installer, it always amazed me how time flew by. And that was the type of job that gave you joy, because you actually saw a job being completed. There's actually dial tone at the end of the job. And I've had other jobs in management that always seemed to have no end. That the completion seemed never ending or even in sight. So we must always put our passion into what we're achieving. Creating is our plan in action. I think a better term for it is co-creating. By being in harmony with ourselves and the universe, we receive our inspiration and our power from within. We must trust ourselves with that spark of creation. Following our inner guidance, our intuition, and giving us the thoughts and ideas to be achieving our goals. Our guides are there to do the co-creating with us, and all we have to do is ask. Thoughts go a long way, and they travel farther than the speed of light. So ask your guides. A lot of people get caught up in doing things all by themselves, and asking is a form of expressing your thoughts. By co-creating, you are achieving your goals, and you do not have to do it alone. I believe co-creating happens every day and every moment, and we just have to be aware of it. A while ago, my wife and I had an inspiration to make orgonite, an electromagnetic field disperser. I believe it generates the power of love. Orgonite is created with many designs and ingredients, and the co-creation of how many and what types of crystals to use and what types of elements gave me and Anne many inspirations that fueled by the passion of making orgonite. After co-creating our goals, then we go to transforming, the T in acting. So we are transforming them not only into reality, but we find ourselves transforming as well. We raise the bar, so to speak, walking a higher road, filled with joy and happiness. We cannot be bothered with criticism, for what we are achieving is in our divine plan. When I was on my path being a healer and a psychic medium, I received a lot of criticism and disbelief from my family and friends because they were of the purported occult view. That criticism was from religious programming and not understanding the laws of nature. Many of my friends are no longer with me, but that's part of the plan, raising the bar. As we are transforming, and as our current acting role is ending, there are other scripts waiting for us to be put to act again. Our reality is changing. We go back to the planning process of setting another goal, co-creating and transforming, ever renewing, ever acting. And I want to say that one of the scripts that plays a part in all our acting should be this one of happiness. And happiness is when one's spiritual needs are met by an untroubled inner life. Happiness comes when your work and words are of benefit to yourself and others. Of benefit to yourself and others. The universe has harmony in it, the yin and the yang. We all have a masculine and feminine side within us. It's part of our makeup. I have an acronym for actress. Achieving, creating, transforming, reality, expressing simple solutions. We do not have to be too hard on ourselves. We can be achieving, co-creating, transforming without putting any stress, fear, or negative thoughts and emotions into the equation. Life throws us a curveball every now and then, and we need to go with the flow. By trusting in our intuition, trusting in our guides, and being in harmony with the universe, we can achieve that acting. I am harmonizing. I am living in the presence of God. I would like to express a thought from Madame H.P. Blavatsky, the founder of the Theosophical Society at the turn of the 20th century. This piece is entitled, "The Voice of the Silence." Before the soul can see, the harmony within must be attained, and fleshy eyes be rendered blind to all illusion. Before the soul can hear, the image or man has to become as deaf to the roarings as to the whispers, to cries of bellowing elephants as to the silvery buzzing of the golden firefly. Before the soul can comprehend and may remember, she must unto the silent speaker be united, just as the form to which the clay is modeled and first united with the potter's mind. For then the soul will hear and will remember, and then to the inner ear will speak the voice of the silence. By acting, we create our own reality. We must consider that reality is an illusion too. As Blavatsky states, we must be rendered blind to all illusion so we can see and remember. Our etheric body is a hologram before we can, Our etheric body is a hologram connecting our soul to our physical body. I have found a couple of experiences that give credence to what I would say is the illusion of reality that we live in. The first experience was when I was 12 years old. And I remember this date vividly. It was April 3rd, 1970. I was riding my bicycle and I was delivering newspapers on a paper route. And I was struck by a Jeep and dragged under it for about 50 yards. And this was a kind of like near-death experience. I was unconscious for about 3 days. Luckily, I had no broken bones or brain damage, but some people may argue that. Okay. So remember what I stated earlier. God or infinite intelligence cannot be defined because God is. What I was experiencing in that near-death experience was oneness, or God in action. There was no light at the end of the tunnel, no tunnel at all. I was just surrounded in white light, and that white light was expansive. I was not scared a bit, just taking in the experience, seeing and believing the infinite intelligence. This is spiritualism's first declarations of principles, and I was there, seeing and believing in that infinite intelligence. This was my first out-of-body experience that I was aware of, and I had a guide who was guiding me there, Archangel Michael. And subconsciously, he appeared because I grew up Roman Catholic, and Michael was my confirmation name. He took me around the universe of white light, and it was orbs and circles of light, creating and co-creating, ever expanding, much like the flower of life, but on a universal level. What I learned was the only thing constant with the universe is that it's always in a flux of change. So the universe always in a flux of change, creating and co-creating. Michael took me next to the center of the universe. And this was like a black hole where all the knowledge of the universe is stored, that which is not being created or co-created. Those creations are thought impulses and sound vibrations that interact with the orbs in the circle of light, creating and co-creating. And not just one thought, many, many thoughts, creating a matrix of light and sound. Funny thing though, I could not hear anything, but knew the thoughts and all the vibrations. I could feel them because I was in the void, the center of the universe, where all the Akashic records are stored. Looking at the whiteness in the black hole, Michael showed me that I was experiencing the spiritual eye of the universe, with the pupil being the black hole and the whiteness ever expanding. This was the creative energies of the universe, something that we can tap into any time that we want. We are all geniuses. That is the illusion of reality on the earth plane. We need to connect to that infinite intelligence, the universal creator, to become that spiritual eye and see through the illusion. This is done through meditation, opening our spiritual eye and merging with the eye of the universe, becoming one, creating and co-creating. 3 days later, when I came out of that coma, I opened my eyes, and it seemed that the divine feminine energy was around me and placing me back in my body. I believe that was Mother Mary, again, because I grew up Roman Catholic. My first words when I was staring at this white light, where the white hospital ceiling was, "Am I in heaven?" Because of this experience and knowing what it is, I have an easy time getting back into that space. Sometimes I can get there in a matter of seconds, which is why if anybody has seen me lead meditations, you will see me drift and fade out. Meditation is the key to the reality of the universe. My second illusion of reality was when I was 19 years old and I was in an automobile accident. And this occurred in Michigan. I was a passenger in a car. that was being driven on icy roads. And hindsight is 20/20, which is actually another illusion. And I would have been better if I just stayed home. But the illusion of reality is also, you cannot fool karma, or you can't fool Mother Nature, as the Imperial Margin commercial in the 70s states. But the car, the driver overcorrected, spun out of control, and this car kind of flipped around in the ditch about 5 or 6 times. And ended up on its hood, and a little tree, only about that big, trunk-wise, stopped it. But this was in the 70s. We didn't have seatbelt laws. The cars were way bigger, and I ended up on the dashboard, just stretched out, and I was uninjured, kicked out the window, and pulled all the other people out. And they had minor injuries. And I can thank God or infinite intelligence and all my guides for being there for me. But this experience was different than the other ones. Have you ever heard of the phrase, "my life just flashed in front of me"? This is what happened. But it happened so fast that there was no fear or no time for fear. The strangest experience that I had in this accident was that what flashed in front of me wasn't just my present life. It was the past life, it was future lives. I saw spirit and recognized them. I saw my wife and my kids. So, and what this taught me, this illusion, is the 5th principle of spiritualism, which states that there is no death. Again, this was part of the co-creating process, a life lesson that I had to learn. So what I learned through these 2 experiences is that our consciousness lives outside of our physical body, both collectively and personally. That death is an illusion of reality on the earth plane. And I have come to understand about the no fear in this incident, and that our society is programmed for us to fear. That's done through society and through religion. There are many misinterpretations in the Bible that state that God is fear-based. Fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. That is another illusion of reality. The correct translation for fear is awe. That we should be in awe of God, in awe of infinite intelligence. And we can say infinite intelligence is awesome. And all we have to do is embrace it. When we are in the awe, we are in the bliss consciousness, connecting to the vibration of love, to the spiritual eye of the universe. When we get to this bliss, we are opening our spiritual eye to the oneness and acting on if we are on a mission from God for the Blues Brothers. Both these experiences that I had, the near-death and the out-of-body experience and that accident, also taught me that time is an illusion. How much time did I experience in these events? The coma was 3 days, the accident was split seconds, but the experience seemed eternal. Infinite intelligence at hand. Time slips through your fingers because it isn't there. There are many nows occurring at the same time. As I stated before, the only thing constant with the universe is change. And that is because time is the illusion. Not only are we co-creating in the now, we are coexisting in the other nows. Everything exists simultaneously. With that in mind, we are all actors in the universe, all connected, all reading the same script, all wrapped up in the love of the universe. But it is that earth that is real in the now. And we put our egos aside and trust that love to be achieving, creating, and transforming our reality and living in happiness. Thank you.